Guys, hello, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Geneva. This is Geneva in General. And guys, today has been an exciting game, an exciting performance put on yet again by my Lady Gamecocks out of South Carolina University. They just came out on top with this W. They just whooped Tennessee, the Lady Vols at their own home, at their own court, on their own territory and turf by beating them at 70 points to the Lady Vols 63 points. Now again, guys, this was a very exciting game that had me just nervous in the first quarter. The first quarter, South Carolina had 13 points, and Tennessee, the Lady Volunteers, the Lady Vols, they had 14 points. We were down just by 1 point, in the first quarter, but the way we were acting, the way we were performing, we just were not efficient enough, and it had me nervous. Because again, South Carolina, in my eyes, in my opinion, they have very slow starts in a lot of their games. It doesn't matter if it's away games, home games, by teams and women's teams that are actually rated, those that are non-rated. It just takes a little bit of time for them to get warmed up. But in the second and third quarter, we made it up. We started putting that belt to that behind. The second quarter, South Carolina Gamecocks, we scored 22 points, whereas the Lady Vols scored 12. The third quarter, we scored another 22 points, where the Ladies Vols, they scored 13 points. The fourth and final quarter is when things got scary. Things got spooky like it was October 31st. Lady Vols scored 24 points, whereas the Lady Gamecocks, South Carolina Gamecocks, we only scored 13 points in the fourth quarter, guys. Which is why I always say it's important, again, from beginning to end, you got every point literally matters. Every point counts. The offensive rebounds, the defensive rebounds, whether you're getting free throw shots, 2-pointers, 3-pointers, you got to keep collecting and just scraping up nickels and dimes. You got a nickel and dime, to pay off these bills, to pay off these debts. Because again, if it wasn't for us coming out on top in the second and third quarter, we would have got just smoked. The game would have been over for South Carolina when it comes to Tennessee in tonight's performance. Because again, they only lost this game. I say only, because again, anything 10 plus up, anything north of 10 points to me is a blowout. They only lost this game by 7 points. They almost got us, especially when it came to the end. Again, I hate that. Literally the first quarter and the fourth quarter was one and the same. It was very stop motion pictures. You know anything about claymation, animation, and stop motion pictures? It's like when you want to move an animate object or an inanimate object, and you got to record it at every moment just for them to go like this. That's what the first quarter and the fourth quarter reminded me of. The whistle was being blown so much. I wanted to we got to do something about these reps. It's not just in the WNBA side. Let them play. Nobody got punched in the face. Nobody's mouth is bleeding. But at the same time, a lot of the refs blowing that whistle is because a lot of the ladies on both sides of the team, they could not keep that ball in bounds. It was just ridiculous how the ball just kept getting thrown out of bounds. Even when it came to the passes on both sides of this game was kind of sloppy. Now let's get into some overall game stats. When it comes to South Carolina Gamecocks, who are the victors in tonight's game, Tahina Powell put up 10 points. Raven Johnson put up 9 points. She was doing her thing. Raven was Raven. I love the facial expression she be making. And then, of course, you got Chloe Kidd. She put up 10 points. Joyce Edwards put up 18 points. She is the leading scorer of tonight's game. Tessa Johnson, she put up 3. Maddie McDaniel, she was getting on my nerves. She kept on getting turnovers here and there. Mighty Mouse. But you know what? She gave us 6 points, so I can't be too mad. Then my Lasia Foot Wiley, a.k.a. Lay Gon' Lay It In, she gave us 11 points. Now, when it comes to the Tennessee, Lady Volunteers, you have Samara Spencer. She put up 8 points. Ruby Whitehorn, she put up 12. Taisha Cooper, she put up 11 points. Alyssa Latham put up 4 points. Azaria Spearman put up 6 points. Kanaya Boyd, she put up 6 points. Jillian Hungingshead, she put up 7 points. Jewel Spear put up 5 points. Tess Darby put up 4 points. Now, guys, also, it's very peculiar to me. First of all, shout outs and congratulations to Kim Caldwell. She is currently the head coach for Tennessee, the Lady Volunteers. She literally just had a baby last week, guys. She just became a first-time mom, her and her husband. Welcomed their son, they actually named him Connor Scott Caldwell. And it's you know what? You just had a baby last week. How is you out here coaching? You on the sidelines, yelling, screaming, hollering, trying to get play-by-plays. But it's obviously I get that, it's a home game. It's they're away where they got to travel. But it's you literally had a being came out of your body, whether it was C-section or, through vaginal birth. You need time to heal. I'm always very cautious and worried for women who they rush back to work no matter what work could be for them, even if it's not a physically laborious type of job, or just even if it's just taxing on their mental, their spiritual, their emotional health. It's you just had a baby. Why rush so soon? But again, it's you know what it is, what it is. She know what she's doing. She's grown. But again, shout out to Kim Caldwell and congratulations to her and her husband. They are now parents. again, I'm very, like, I don't want to say two-faced, but I'm just unsure about Lady Vols and Tennessee women's basketball as a whole. It's like, again, I remember the way I was introduced to Lady Vols in Tennessee, like a lot of us was, let's be real. First of all, Rakia Jackson, she played her final, I believe her last year, final year, senior year slash years at Lady Vols. Okay, she had transferred from, I believe, the Mississippi Rebels to Lady Vols. And also, who could forget that freaking last year when it was Kelly Harper, she was the former head coach of the Lady Vols. They let that game slip out of their fingers when it was Tennessee versus South Carolina when Camila Cardoso, yes, the big girl, 6'7", made her first 3-point shot of her entire collegiate basketball career. And it was just a mess. Like, you see Kelly Harper, like, bent over, like she's out of breath, like she was, like, literally hyperventilating, like she was, like, in labor, like having labor pains, like she couldn't believe it. Like, you had grown men and grown women in the stands crying, like, the Tennessee fans was just blown. They was just so pissed off. It was like, how in the world y'all let Camila Cardoso put up a 3-pointer? This don't make no sense. So again, it's like Tennessee, to me, Lady Vols, they seem to be like a team that I should respect. I don't believe they're in the top 10, right? Tennessee, is that Southeastern Conference, SEC? I'm not too sure. But again, it's like, I believe they are top 20, but it's something about the way that they play. Again, I'm not trying to come for their coaches. They seem like they have a pretty solid coaching staff, right? But it's something about the way they close out games. It's like they can't get it there. They just can't finish. They can't close out the games. That's pretty much what I'm saying. And it's like, but why? It's like, again, like for them to have, like, they break so many records, both the men and the women's side of Tennessee, this college university, when it comes to the basketball athletics program, both male and female, they both, they break so many records. And then you had, of course, the infamous Pat Summitt, who was legendary. She brought home, like, 8 titles when she was the head coach of the Lady Vols. And it's like, something is, like, just not going on with them in their favor as of, like, late. Okay, again, I'm not trying to point fingers at the coaches and the coaching staff, but it's like, what is it about Tennessee? It's just like, I can't really root for them because something about them is just like, they're lacking something. Guys, comment down below your thoughts on tonight's game. South Carolina Gamecocks is on top.